Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we will learn how to make the nails last long, which means how to do proper preparation of the natural nail. I always have questions from my students asking me, how do you make them last so long? What's the secret? So in today's video I will teach you all of my tips and tricks, so please continue to watch and leave it a like and subscribe. Thank you. Okay guys, so before we start, I just want to show you some of my tools that I always use, no matter what procedure I'm doing. So it can be refill, it can be new set, so whatever procedure I'm doing on a client, this is my go-to tools. So they are all packed in separate pouches, meaning that every single client gets clean tools that have been disinfected with the disinfectant liquid. Okay, so before we start as well, I will just use again disinfectant in front of my client, just as an extra step, so she can see always that we do take care of them and the tools that are gonna be used. Just spray the tools and leave them to dry for a few seconds. Okay, so as you see on my client, on my model, we have a lot of cuticle here. So how to make nails last longer? We really have to do proper preparation. If you watched any of my previous videos, you would already see how I do it, but in this video I will explain you in depth, step by step, only about the preparation and why the preparation is super important. So if you never used any product, if you are a beginner or you have done some course but didn't work for a while, I think this will help you a lot, just to kind of refresh the memory. So as we all know, gel or acrylic or any product that you're using will never ever stick on a nail that has not been prepared. So if we leave this cuticle here, the dead skin on the nail, and you apply product on top of it, we will have lifting problems. If the gel or product, any product touches the skin around, we will have lifting problems. If we don't mattify and prepare the natural nail, we will have lifting problems. So all of those steps are super important in order to make our clients happy and to make their nails last long. So let's start with the first step. So first step, normally we use cuticle pusher, which looks like this. So we have two sides, one is oval and another one is sharp. So normally with the cuticle pusher, you start by pushing back the cuticle. Okay, so as you see, my model has a lot of cuticle, and you just start by pushing them back. Okay, you really want to make sure that everything has been moved from the nail. You gotta ask your clients as well, because sometimes they're super sensitive when it comes to pushing back the cuticles. So the good thing is to ask them if they're sensitive. If they're sensitive, then you use a little bit less pressure. If they're not sensitive, then you can do it with a normal pressure. When you practice on yourself, I think that's when you feel it the most, which is a good lesson to learn before you do it on anybody else. Okay, now with the sharper side, we use it to move any sticky skin left, because there is quite a lot. Because when you push that skin back, you get more surface of the nail plate. So when you push that skin back, you get more surface of that nail plate. And you just continue to do this until you removed all of that dead skin there. On this finger, I'm gonna do this with the machine. So if you don't have the machine, of course you do it with the first step that I showed you with the hand and our cuticle pusher. But if we have the machine, we can actually use the machine to help ourselves out. Okay, so this is the first bit that I'm gonna be using. This is called big cylinder bit, and it comes in Russian dry manicure kit. Okay, I use it on my machine, not more than 10,000 spins. So when you look at my machine, it has 30,000 spins. Okay, so I start with, I would even say this would be 5 to 7. You can go higher, again depends from client to client and how thick the cuticle is, but I don't go above 10,000. Okay, so I try between all of those to see how it works. Now we will start, I would say this would be 7,000 spins. Okay, I'm right-handed, so I will start from the right corner, up, and going down. You can also start from the middle and then go down, but make sure that you do go back on the right side as well. If you're left-handed, then you start from left corner, up, down, but make sure you change the rotation on your machine, because every machine should have two rotations, which would be forward and reverse. As a right-handed nail tech, I use it on forward motion. And we just start. So this bit we use to cut that cuticle that's on the nail plate. Okay, so you just lightly press it, you don't press it too hard. As well, always have a little dust brush so you can remove any dust there, so you can see, did you leave something there, what can be moved more. And I will go to this corner here. Okay, so this is the first step done. Okay, now the second step for the machine is gonna be with this bit here. Okay, so it kind of looks like a cone. You can also use bits that have a little bit smaller head here. So whatever is your preference, and if you know that that bit is to be used for under the cuticle a little bit, that's the bit that you want to use. And again, same thing when it comes to machine. I will be using it around 5,000 spins. Okay, and same steps. Just lightly around. You don't want to push it too far down. You don't want to force it, so just light touch. Again, if you are a beginner and you don't have an experience with the machine, I would suggest you to practice first on yourself, because on yourself you can feel whatever you are doing before you do it on somebody else. Okay, next step. Okay, so some of the nail techs would cut the cuticle now, which is perfectly fine. You can do that now. My preference is to cut the cuticle after I'm finished with filing the product. So just before the color application, that's when I cut the cuticle. Reason being, I feel more secure with filing that product, because then I'm sure that I'm not gonna cut my client. So if you're a beginner, this is something that I would suggest you, or even if you're a nail tech with a lot of experience, you can try this as well to see, would you prefer it more to cutting before or after. So my next step is going to be using this bit. So this is the bit that looks like this. And on top of it, I will apply sanding paper, which is super fine, which would be around 180 to 200 grits. So it's super soft. If you don't have the machine, this is the part that you will use your hand file. On this one, I use it on super low speed, so I don't go above 2,000 to 3,000 spins, okay? There is no need for that because we're working on the natural nail, and our main goal now is just to make it matte. We don't want to overfile anything, so that's why this is super gentle now. I will start from the right corner, going up and down. And especially around that cuticle area, and down. You can go this way as well, however suits you. And I will show you now a little bit with the hand file as well. So I will use 180 grit file, which is super soft and perfect for this part. Okay, so around the cuticle, especially here. And also I will just start to shape her natural nail. Always go in one direction when you have a natural nail. If you have product, then you can go left, right. But if you work on the natural nail, it's better to go in one direction. Okay, as you can see, our nail is matte, it's not shiny. Here is the comparison to the others. Okay, so we can see how the nail is supposed to look. We can see there is no redness here, there is no damage done. We just removed the first shiny layer because natural nail is made of keratin protein formed by the amino acids, meaning that it's super oily as well, super shiny. So if we leave the nail like that, our product would never stick. So we have to make our nail matte. Okay, and that's how we do it. Now on to the actual preparation when it comes to using products. First, we need to dehydrate the nail plate. So for that, depends from brand to brand. We have different type of nail dehydrators. You can get them in spray forms, you can get them in bottle forms. It really depends again from brand to brand. Those are the same thing. One is in the bottle and one is in the spray form and another one is in the bottle. So I will use the one from the bottle. Before we start, we need to use our preparation liquids. So it depends from brand to brand what kind of liquids do you use, but we need to first use the hydrators. So the hydrators are here to help us, of course, to dehydrate the nail plate, so it kind of makes the nail more, you will see, a little bit more white, because it does remove all the oils. Okay, so I will use today the one from the bottle, and I will apply it on the whole nail plate and around the skin as well. If you have broken skin, then try to avoid the skin. If the skin is not broken, you can apply it on the skin as well, because it does contain isopropyl alcohol, so it does kill some bacteria as well. And as you see, it's gonna air dry super quickly. After the dehydrator, we have two options. What is our next step? So by the book Old School, we have acid primer, which would be this one, and then we have acid-free primer. If we are using two of them, acid primer always goes first, because it does contain acid, so it does go into depth of the nail to clean any moisture, any oil from there. But that one, it's crucially important that you wait until it's completely dry. If you don't wait until it's completely dry, then you will have lifting problems. After this is dry, you will see it will be also white, like it is now. Then it's our next step to apply acid-free primer. Acid-free primer, usually it's very sticky. We also call it the bonder. And this one, we don't have to wait until it's dry. So this is option one. If we are using two, primer and acid-free primer, acid goes first, acid-free goes second. Okay, so this is Old School by the book. Nowadays, we just use acid-free primer. Sometimes I use the two, and most of the times I only use one, because as you work more and more with clients, you get to know their hands, their nails, how they're acting with certain product. So if I see that her nails are normal, there is no damages or anything like that, it's perfectly fine to use just one product. But if you're ever unsure what product to use on, then use two of them. Then use acid first and then acid-free. I prefer to use just acid-free primer. Okay, now we will apply acid-free primer on the natural nail. And now it's also important that we don't flood the cuticle area or the skin, because also it can cause you lifting problems. It will not burn because it doesn't have any acid, but let's avoid it. Okay, so just here on the side and the other side. I will put a little bit more on the side here, just so I'm sure it covered the whole nail. Okay, as we see, we didn't flood any cuticle or the skin around it, but it covered the whole nail. Next step, now depends if you're working with gel or acrylic, but when we are working with gel or polygel, our next step is base gel. So I love to use rubber base gel from Truscada. This is one of my favorite. It's super elastic and hard at the same time, so this is my go-to base gel. When it comes to base gel, it's super important as well for this technique that you apply it super thin. Okay, so I will start to apply it from my brush, because this is how I prefer to control my product. You can use it from the bottle as well, but make sure you don't put too much. And as I'm doing it, I'm gonna start to rub this product in, because when you rub it rub, 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 you are creating a better bond between the base gel and your acid-free primer that we just applied. Okay, this is how the nail looks like now, and we need to put our base gel in lamp for 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay guys, I hope this video is gonna be helpful. I hope you learned something new. If you do have some questions, please leave it in the comment section below. But this is my secret when it comes to the preparation. This is how you were supposed to do it, how we teach on the courses step by step, how to do proper preparation and how to make those nails last for a super long time. Of course, preparation is just one of the steps why the nails will last you a long time, and we need to learn about structure, which is going to be a second video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!